Good morning and welcome to English Lessons on Iman TV. What we're going to cover today includes vocabulary, and these are not new words, but this is a very short quiz on what we have studied before. And then the rest of the lesson is all on grammar and different ways to review different structures that we've studied so far. But the thing that I will give you more practice of how to use who and when to use whom. They have the same meaning and they're used for persons, but the way that you use them is different. So we're going to practice that one. At the end, we have some new vocabularies, and these are all about body parts. And I'm trying to prepare you that when you have a problem and you need to go to a doctor, to a hospital, or you want to help somebody else, how you can express yourself, which part of the body hurts. So you need to know the name of the part of the body and then the name of the disease. So for a couple of weeks, we're going to cover body parts. And then after that, we're going to cover the name of disease and how you can express yourself when you go to a doctor and complain about your health. So I'll try to make you as self-sufficient as possible, that you don't need to take a translator with you when you go to a doctor. So let's now start the lesson with the review of the vocabulary. Actually, it's a test, not the review. But again, I welcome you to English Lessons on Iman TV. The words that I want you to use in these blank spaces, so I have this bank of words, and then I have these blank spaces. So what I want you to do is to look at the sentence, and I give you time to do that. And then you need to think of which word goes in what blank. And also, you may want to use the correct form of the verb, especially if it's a verb. Okay? So the words are, please repeat after me together. Nickname, nickname. Tongue, tongue. Teeth, teeth. Remember, when you pronounce TH, you put the tip of your tongue between your front teeth and you say teeth. Okay? Teeth. Tooth is one, and teeth is more than one. Pretty, pretty. True, true. Pharmacist, pharmacist. Again, PH, the first two letters. PH makes the F sound. So you say pharmacist. You put your upper teeth on your lower lip and you say pharmacist. Apartment complex, apartment complex. Elbow, elbow. The sentences are, Mary and John live in the same what? So you need to choose one of these words that could fit here and make the sentence meaningful. There was a big sale. Everything was cheap. Everything was what? Cheap. What can you put in front of cheap in this sentence? We use our blank in lips to talk. So which of these words will fill this blank correctly? Now we're going to go to the next page, and I give you time to think and then choose carefully which word could go in what slot. Number 4, Bob is Robert's blank. What? So you need to use one of these words and put it here. Number 5, Jim works in a pharmacy. He is a what? In other words, what do you call a person who works in a pharmacy? Number 6, my dentist both examine and clean my what? Which word could go in this blank space? Excuse me. Now let's go to the next page. Number 7. Omar cannot move his arm because he hurt his what? When you cannot move your arm, forearm, upper arm, lower arm, which part should hurt that you may not allow you to do that? So I want you to name the part. Number 8. Blank. Right and correct have the same meaning. which word on this list means right or correct. Okay, so now let's look, and this time let's use the words in the correct spaces. Again, nickname, tongue, teeth, pretty, true, pharmacist, apartment complex, elbow. Number 1, Mary and John live in the same what? In the same apartment complex. So what is the meaning of apartment complex? Do Mary and John live in the same apartment? The answer is no. They live in the same apartment complex. So complex means building. So in an apartment building, there may be 50 or 60 or 100 apartments. So they live in the same complex, not in the same apartment. Okay? Keep that in mind. Apartment, let's say apartment number 10. So probably Mary lives in apartment number 10 and John lives in apartment 20. But they are in the same apartment complex. So apartment complex means apartment building. Number 2, there was a big sale. Everything was what? Cheap. Which word could fit here? The correct answer is, what did you choose? What's your answer? Everything was what? The answer is pretty. Pretty cheap. Remember, the dictionary meaning for pretty is what? Usually says beautiful. Like pretty flowers, pretty car, or pretty person. But pretty doesn't mean pretty like that, beautiful here. It simply means very. So like pretty cheap means what? Very cheap. Somebody says, I'm pretty sick. It doesn't mean I'm beautiful and sick. It simply means what? I'm very sick. So in other words, another meaning of pretty is very. So you buy something, it's very expensive. You could say what? This is pretty expensive. Means it's very expensive, okay? There was a big sale. Everything was pretty cheap. Means it was very cheap. Sentence number 3. We use our lips to talk. Our what and lips to talk? The correct answer is what? Tongue, right? We said we need our tongue to use in order to talk. Like when you say, for example, th, you need to put your tongue between your teeth and say, for example, like teeth, right? So we use our tongue and lips to talk. Let me read these sentences with the correct words, and then you will go to the next page. Mary and John live in the same apartment complex. Apartment complex meaning apartment building, not same room. There was a big sale. Everything was pretty cheap. Pretty means what? Very cheap. We use our tongue and lips to talk. Sentence number 4. Bob is Robert's what? Which words can you use over here? The correct answer is nickname. Nickname is what? A given name, a shortened form of a name. So for Roberts in English, Bob is the nickname. Okay? Like for example, for William, Bill is the nickname. For example, it was for Elizabeth, Liz or Beth is the nickname. So a lot of time people have a official name. They also have what? A nickname. And usually